This week, a special edition of the Daily Buzz as we mark 30 years of the Business Journal by looking at 30 years of business growth.
Today's Business Journal Daily Buzz is brought to you by Home Savings.
Show your school spirit. Now at Home Savings, you can get a custom debit card with a high school logo on it. More choices coming soon. Member FDIC.
I'm Andrea Wood, publisher of the Business Journal. 30 years ago this week, we were getting ready to send to press the very first edition of the Youngstown Business Journal. This week, the Daily Buzz is on hiatus as we remember August 1984 when we launched our newspaper, hoping to create a new business narrative for the Mahoning Valley. This week, we'll look at how far we've come in 30 years. Who knew the oil and gas industry would develop? We took our very first drilling rig tour in March 2012.
We are at the Airview Acres site in Columbianta County, just off Route 30, and we're just preparing to take you guys on a rig tour, just showing you what's happening here out on the rig. We are at NOMAC rig number 38. Our
tour guides were executives from Chesapeake's Canton office. On this day, drilling nears completion for a third well at the site. The first step in drilling a well is to build the well pad with 5,000 tons of aggregate. That costs from $200,000 to $400,000 and employs a host of local contractors and vendors. A single well pad can accommodate up to 6 wells. Once the well pad is finished, crews begin erecting the rig, a process that can take 2 to 4 days. That's a surprisingly small amount of time, considering the complex web of equipment. Drilling rig workers are called roughnecks. They have a starting pay of $60,000 to $65,000 a year. They work 2 weeks on, 2 weeks off, 12 hours a day. Reporter Dan O'Brien continues our coverage.
On this day, workers are removing the drill pipe and will install the final string of production casing, cemented into place, and the well will be fully constructed. Just behind the well pad is a large pond to hold fresh water used for the hydraulic fracturing process. 5 to 6 million gallons of water is used when fracking a single well.
Today, there are 30 wells in production in Columbianta County, and in Carroll County, 224 wells, the most of any county in the Utica Shale. Dan O'Brien takes us back to January 2012.
Welcome to Carroll. It's a classic snapshot of small-town America, complete with a gazebo in the center of town. Its population, 3,000, and growing.
I think it was probably around spring and summer of 2011.
That's when Sarah Reynolds and her husband noticed business at their restaurant, Jimmy's Backyard Barbecue, started to really pick up. Rental properties are in high demand. Suddenly, for the Reynolds who'd been trying to sell their home, problem solved.
We actually had our home for sale for almost a year and a half, and actually have it rented out to a gentleman and his family who are in the oil and gas industry.
In September 2012, this emerging industry could best be seen from the air. Our pilot is Bill Bieber. We took off from Elser Airport in North Lima, flying in Bieber's Mall M7 amphibian. Within minutes, we were above Consol Energy's well in Ellsworth Township. Then we flew into Columbianta County.
You can see a lot more from up in the sky than you can on the ground driving around.
It's a challenge to keep count. Across the horizon, we see a well pad waiting for a rig, another where bulldozers are moving dirt, now a drilling rig at a site, then 2 wellheads standing alone on 1 well pad. This site is either in production or, more likely, waiting to be fracked. We see a well that's being fracked. Yellow tanks suggest the process is underway. We scan for pipeline pathways, but all we can see are green strips between stands of trees. We come to the Tennessee Gas Pipeline Compressor Station in Carroll County, a facility that began processing dry natural gas long before Utica shale exploration. As we fly southeast of Carrollton, we see a staging area for drilling equipment and vehicles, an adjacent well pad, and a huge pond holding millions of gallons of water. From every window of Bieber's small plane, we see more well pads, more drilling rigs, more wells waiting to be fracked. We land briefly on the Ohio River, then take off near the Wellsville Intermodal Facility. We see more well pads and drilling rigs. We have lost count. By 2013, the pipeline network was taking shape, even in the eastern edge of Mahoning County. Dotted lines of pipes propped up on pallets flow north and south above the muddy fields. 2 weeks ago, these fields were untouched. Now pipeline crews work 6 days a week, arriving in trucks with out-of-state license plates and in a former school bus that ferries welders from field to field. This is the Poland Township section of the 50-mile Hickory Bend gathering system, part of the $300 million Pennant Midstream gas processing project that will include a cryogenic plant on this land in nearby New Middletown. Associated Pipeline Contractors of Houston has the contract to build the pipeline in Mahoning County. This crew specializes in road crossings. Company workers are from Louisiana, the operating engineers and welders from Union Halls in the Mahoning Valley and as far away as Wisconsin. In March 2014, hydraulic fracturing at one of Hillcorp's wells at the Carbon Limestone landfill triggered a series of earthquakes. Although fracking of that well ceased, production at other wells here is the highest in Mahoning County, and Hillcorp is drilling lots more wells in Lawrence and Mercer counties. All are hooked into the Hickory Bend system that leads to Pennant Midstream's cryogenic processing plant in Springfield Township. On October 28, 2013, the plant was dedicated.
The plant is equipped with the most advanced safety systems available, and we're using the cleanest technology available in order to protect the environment and the community.
Governor John Kasich was here for this press event, then drove to Scio for the dedication that same day of UEO Buckeye's fractionation plant in Harrison County.
Let me welcome you to the Harrison Hub.
Frank Suru is the president of M3 Midstream, who along with partners Access Midstream and EV Energy Partners are building the UEO Buckeye system. The system consists of the Harrison Hub, a plant in Kensington, and a third under construction in Leesville, Ohio.
The total investment that M3 and the partners have in this plant and the connecting plants is well over $1 billion. The longevity of these plants is well into 50 years, so the ripple effect is tremendous.
In fact, UEO Buckeye is finding so much demand that a fourth phase is already being planned for the Kensington plant, bringing its total capacity to 800 million cubic feet of natural gas per day. And Suru says that still may not be enough.
We're really just scratching the surface with the 1.2 BCF that we're building on this facility, so we need more processing here.
We've seen the shale industry emerge, and we've seen it retrench as BP, Consol, and Halcon abandon drilling sites in northern Trumbull County. Still, millions of dollars in leasehold and royalty payments are churning through the regional economy. And a few thousand new jobs came here with the industry's supply chain. Valoric and VAM, the big billion-dollar investment to make pipe and thread it. TMK IPSCO, Exterran, Weatherford, Decal, Industrial Piping Specialists, expansions at Wheatland Tube, and homegrown Brilex Industries and Daring Compressor.
We are expanding our facility one more time, and with a 25,000 square foot addition.
One of the things that Brilex benefits from is being diversified in the industries we serve. We're not just oil and gas.
Tomorrow in this week's special edition of the Daily Buzz, manufacturing's resurgence. I'm Andrea Wood reporting.
Today's Business Journal Daily Buzz is brought to you by Home Savings.
Show your school spirit. Now at Home Savings, you can get a custom debit card with a high school logo on it. More choices coming soon. Member FDIC.
Drilling Down is sponsored by the Leiden Oil Company.
The Leiden Oil Company, for all your commercial and industrial lubrication needs. Quality products at competitive prices with excellent service since 1919.